What up, y'all? T-Skip here, and today we're back with another installment in the Helpful series. And in this one, will be all about engineering items. Now, in this video, there will be 20 items, and on the first half of the video will be 10 items that is exclusively for engineers. And in the second half of the video, the next 10 items will be for anybody. You can go to the auction house or your local engineer and get these things. Like as always, there will be timestamps in the description. So if you like to jump around to either one or find something you're looking for, they'll be there. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. The first up on the engineering items are 2 Cloak Enchants. Yes, the engineers can make, in the older expansion, Cloak Enchants. And there's 2 that I think are the most helpful that you could still use now. Even though we don't have Cloak Enchants, you can still throw them on. So the first one up on the Cloak Enchants is called the Flex Weave Underlay. Now this one is from Northrend Engineering, and what you do, these items right here, the Tinker Kit, that's what you'll need to craft them. And you put them on your cloak, and it has a 1-minute cooldown, so that's not bad at all. So if we go over here, I'll go ahead and show you what this one looks like. And then you can get a slow fall. And there's one more I would like to show. The next one is called the Goblin Glider. So it's literally the same thing as the Goblin Gliders that everybody already uses, but this one will be a cloak enchant. So you'll be able to put it on your cloak and you'll have to keep them in your bags and they'll just always be there. So this might have to wait too. And this one comes from the Pandora expansion. So if we can do it. Oh, it reset it. Well, yeah. So now we have the Goblin Gliders. So if we want to, we can go ahead and jump, click, boom. And this one's on a 3-minute cooldown. So I do think both of those are actually pretty cool for engineers. So let's move on to the next. So the next one on the list is Jeeves. Now, if you've ever been in group and somebody asks, do you have a repair? Do you have a Jeeves? This is what they're talking about. So if we go to, I keep hitting that button. If we go into the engineering, this one is from Northrend Engineering and it's just under Jeeves. Now I can't specifically remember how to do it. I got it a while back, but if you want this, I'd highly recommend just looking it up. There's like a little quest line to it or something. I can't really remember. It's been a little bit, but once you use Jeeves, you'll be able to have bank access and your repair. I really like this one. You throw him out, he'll just stay there for a little bit, but once you use him, you'll be able to have your bank, or you will, I'm on out, be able to repair from it. I don't think you can sell. Oh, you can sell too. So there's also that. So with that one being said right there, let's move on to the next one. So the next one up is MOLL-E. Now this one is a toy mailbox that engineers can craft, and they're the only ones that can use them. Let's see if I jump down here. There, it's a Northrend Engineering, and they're the only ones that can use it on a 10-minute cooldown. Now the reason I like MOLL-E so much is it doesn't share a cooldown with the other ones. So say I use let's say get the Katie stamp whistle. Where are you at? Right here. So I showed that one before in the toys video, but this one you can use to check your mail. Well, say that one's on cooldown, you can still use MOLL-E. So you'll have more options to put down a mailbox. This one is another I would highly recommend engineers to have. Just, set it on your bar. That way you have multiple mailboxes to use. All right, let's jump on to the next one. Next one up is the Looter Ring. Now, this is a toy that engineers can use that can retrieve loot from far away, so you don't have to run up and click it. Now, I also wanted to show this. This one, there's 2 of them. The Finley's Looter Ring I wouldn't, I mean, you can get it for your toys if you want the collection, but This one can only be used in Draenor, where this one from the Cataclysm expansion can use everywhere. So this one would be the more useful one. But if we go down here, let's find an enemy. Right here. Alright, so say him, he's far away, can't loot, or say there's other enemies and you're just trying to loot them. Well, you throw that, boom, I just looted them. Okay. And show again. He's on a pretty cool cooldown. So there's them, we'll loot again, boom. I haven't tried making a macro and just to your main button and just spamming it. So every time you kill something, it just loots. You could try that, and that could probably work. I just didn't want that tied to it. I wasn't sure if, you know, maybe in raid or something it would slow it down or whatnot. But you could always make a macro and tie it to your main ability. So every time you're using it, you can be looting. All right, let's jump on to the next one. So next up on the list is the Blingtrons. Now there's 4 of them in total. There's a 4,000, a 5,000, a 6,000 I'll talk about here in a minute, and a 7,000. So if we go to right here, you can see there's a Pandaren one, a Draenor one, the Legion one I'll talk about in a second, and then the BFA one is a 7,000. Now, when you drop them, you can only loot one of them a day. Like, you can't loot all of them, so you have to pick and choose which one. Anybody can pick these up, but only engineers are going to be able to craft them and drop them. So once you have all those, there's a small chance that a engineering mount will drop from them, and it'll either be this rocket, or the Mechaniers Chopper. So other than that, I looked up what were the best things, and for the 6,000, which would be the Legion one, it has the knockoff Blingtron pet, which I'll show those pets here in a minute. The 5,000 has decoded messages that can give you a WOT achievement if you care about those. If you don't care about those, 5,000, you can probably just throw that one out. And then the 4,000 is the one I use. It seems to have the most out of all of them. You can get the High Society top hat, which sells for a whole lot. There's goggles. There's this photobomb toy, which I just used a second ago, but you throw it on to somebody taking a selfie and it adds people to it. Some older engineering pets, and I think a recipe. And then the newest one, the 7,000, has another Blingtron pet. So I'll show those if we go over to here. You can see this one right here comes from the 5,000, the Sky-Boo. And there's Little Bling, which comes from the 4,000. And the one I don't have is this one right here from the 6,000, the knockoff Blingtron. Now, another little side note, which I'm pretty sure you know, but you might not know, is if you put these too close together, they're all going to start fighting each other. As you can see, the bigger series is always going to win, but they do fight each other. Anyways, let's jump on to the next one. So next up on the engineering list is the Ultimate Gnomish Army Knife. So if we look it up, let's kind of hit that button so many times. Right, chomp. It is from the Draenor Engineering, and the thing that makes this unique is it includes every profession tool. So I know we have the thing now where we can add them up here, but say for engineering, I don't always have to carry the blacksmith hammer or this arc light spinner or the adjuster. Like, all these you can take off. I've just had them in my bag and just kept them up there, but this will include all of that, so you don't have to use it. The other good thing about this is, as a Dragonfly, it still works. So you can, on a 10-minute cooldown, you have a res. Now, I'm not sure because I don't have the bracers if it shares cooldown with it, but this right here, if somebody dies, you can click it and at least attempt to bring them back. So there's a res capability with it. So I think this is an awesome pickup just to throw at the top of your bag, and you don't even have to worry about anything. So let's jump on to the next one. Next up is the Wormhole Generators. Now these are excellent for traveling around very quickly. So there's one for pretty much every zone. There's Draenor, Argus, Shadowlands, Pandera. The two I like the most. Oh, and there's Dragonflight right here. Problem with things like this one, like Dragonflight, is it just throws you in random spots. It pretty much the Shadowlands one does too, but at least you can travel. So like say if we do the Shadowlands, there's that one, and now we can travel Bastion. But it's not gonna put you in the city or anything, but it will take you right there. Now there's one other one, this one right here, the Northrend. This one's actually really good because you can actually pick where you want them to go on here, and it'll take you there. Some of the other ones will just junk you around, but I will say these right here, they're on pretty lengthy cooldowns. I will say that. See, except for this one, 15 minutes, but 4 hours, 14 minutes. Okay, so it's not too bad. The older expansions, I guess, had the longer ones. But these are great for just jumping around if you need to hop all over the place. It's one of the great ones. Oops. I guess that one will just take you. But that at least shows you that some of them are different than the others, and I do like the Wormhole Generators. So let's jump on to the next one. So next up is the Rechargeable Reaves battery. Now this one comes from Legion, and I think it's part of the engineering quest line out there. But this is another one I highly recommend just keeping in your bag. So you'll go through this quest line, leveling it up, engineering, and you'll start off with this one, which is just this little item in your bag, and you'll get these modulars that you can add to it, and eventually you'll be able to have this, the rechargeable battery, which you can always summon. The neat thing about this is you add these different modulars to it, and the main one I use is the repair module. So you'll have another repair module, so you could use Jeeves, and then you can use this one. Now it is on a 30-minute cooldown once you use it, and you'll have to only pick one. So there's like the snack dispenser, no, you're not going to use that. Combat modular, I can't remember that. I think you pilot the thing and actually fight with it. I might actually try that one because I can't really remember it. Fireworks, the failure detection, I can't remember if that still works. If somebody knows, add that to the comments if you don't mind. I don't think it does, but I'm not positive. And right here, bling mode. This is where that 7,000 series is. 7,000 or 6,000, whichever one. That's where that one is. It comes from there. So if we go ahead and drop him, he runs around almost like a little battle pet almost. But then you click on him, and that's where you get your option if you want the Blingtron mode or repair bot. I can't remember. Let's see. I guess I don't have that combat mode. Might have to look into that one. So if we do repair, go ahead and do that, and boom, now you have another repair you can use, or Blingtron, or whatever you like to use. Anyways, let's jump on to the next one. Next one up is the Sky Golem. So the interesting thing about this one is if you use it and you're an herbalist, you can use this while herbing. You don't have to dismount at all. So at least in the old world, this is still an excellent mount to get. I don't know if they'll bring the dragon riding abilities to the old world, but as of right now, this right here, you'll be able to drop, herb, and take off. And if you do things like that, just some little hints, if you get the Dark Moon, whatever, and I think there's another T one you can use that makes herbalism really fast. This will make it super quick. Drop down, click, and you can go. So this one is made, I think, in the Pandera expansion. Yeah, Pandera. And I will say, this thing will take at least 30 days to make. So if you do want to make this, I recommend looking up a guide on it. There's a way I do it if you use the farm in Pandera to make it faster. But if we go right here, see how I got these down here. This right here, this one, the living still would be made by alchemists. So it's really good if you have an alchemist and an engineer. And these right here, they take, you can only make one of those a day. and you need 30 to make the Sky Golem. Right now this one's selling for 38. So these are an excellent one to have. I do want to mention, if you don't have engineering or you don't want to go through the whole thing of getting or making one of these and you just want one for yourself, there is another one right here called the Mechanized Lumber Extractor. It looks pretty much the same, just a little bit different colors. And this one comes from the toy achievement for collecting 300 toys. And if we go over right there, remember to share. If you get that one, 300 toys, you'll automatically get this one. And this one does the exact same thing with Irving. So just wanted to mention that. So I got one more list or one more item on the engineering only, and then we're going to jump into the things anybody can use. So for the last one of the engineering onlys that I wanted to mention is the Savior. Now this one is from Dragonflight, and if we jump into it, it costs all of these to make. And I will say this thing has saved me or saved the group a couple times, but there is a chance it could fail. I will say that. So if you're in combat and you see everybody's going down, it's pretty much obvious, like it's a wipe. Throw this down. It has the cast time, so make sure you can pop turtle if you're a hunter or something like that. Throw that guy down, and then once everybody is dead, it'll bring y'all back. So I think this is a very cool one to have. It's definitely saved me. So now we're going to jump into the items that anybody can get. You can buy these on the auction house, and they're just really cool things to help. Helpful items. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the first helpful item that non-engineers can use are obviously the auto hammers. So say you're in combat, or not in combat, after combat, and you need a repair, but there's nowhere to repair, you can't mount, you can use these. And pretty sure a lot of people have seen them, and you can repair it. These things are excellent just to have, especially for a guild raid, or if you're running Mythic Plus a lot, if there's wipes or whatnot, if something happens, who knows, they're great just to store in your bag. There are plenty of them you can buy off the auction house. So let's jump to the next one. So the next one on the list is the green version of the Ultimate Gnomish Army Knife. So in the previous video or previous list, this one can resurrect allies, where this one cannot. But you can also buy this off the auction house and just keep it in your bag. And so say if you use other tools that you don't have in your this part up here, you can just throw that up on the bag, and it still includes every professional tool. So you can clean up your bags with these, and everything's there. The only thing I will say, I forgot to mention the other one, it won't have the fishing pole. You'll still need that, but the vast majority of tools, this can cover it for you. So if you do know an engineer that can craft this, once they have in their bag or in their bank or whatever, they'll start producing the green ones. So you could ask them, hey, if you can, just make one for me, because this comes from the Draenor one for your garrison. All right, so let's get to the next one. So the next one up is the thermal hammer. So this one is going to be for either engineers or blacksmiths. I don't know if there's any other use for them. There could be, but once you throw this down, this is going to be your anvil and your forge. So if you're out and about and you want to use your blacksmithing or whatever, you can just throw this guy down, and you don't need to go to a city or anything like that. You can just keep plenty of these in your bag. See, I bought 2 of them, and that gives me 40 stacks on a 5-minute cooldown. So that should help out pretty good if you're trying to work outside of the city. All right, let's get to the next one. The next one will be the Goblin Glider. So I had to add this one just in case somebody didn't know. These are always excellent for beginning of the expansion. Well, not like this one, because this one we had dragon flying, but usually in the other expansions you couldn't fly. So these can be helpful if you have a mob attacking you and you just need to get out, but there's no way to go. You just run, click the bag, boom. It's just like the back enchant, but this one you just keep in your bag, so they all stack up and you're good to go. All right, let's jump to the next one. So the next one could be a fun one and can get you out of the jam or get you somewhere super quick. These are called the gun shoes. So when you use these, you're gonna propel and just fly where and it's on a, what is it, 30 seconds. So you got a pretty good while to use it. It just all depends on how fast you want to go somewhere. But if I'm not mistaken, it can propel you over water as well. Let's see if we can get there before the counter ends. Come on. It ends right when I got there. Well, it's supposed to propel you over water. At least I'm pretty sure it does. I could be wrong on that one. Anyways, that's a good one if you just need to get things done super quick. Let's jump on to the next one. Next up on the list, it's going to be a twofer for the hunters out there. So there's two things that engineers can make that be useful for them. So one of them is the interdimensional companion repository. So say you're out and about, especially when 10.2 comes, there's going to be plenty of pets. And say you have all your pet 5 slots taken up. Well, the interdimensional companion repository can be thrown down, and it's basically a portable stable. So you'll be able to click it, add your pets, move them, do whatever you want. These are always nice to have. Just throw them in your bag if you're a hunter. Now the other part I wanted to mention is, let's go here. I didn't want to buy it because it is a little pricey, but the Mecha Bound imprint matrix. Now this one right here will allow you to tame mech pets. So this is a great one to have if you like mech pets. If not, I guess you could skip it. But I just wanted to mention that engineers could make that. All right, so let's jump on to the next one. All right, so this one is for the people who like to change their appearance non-stop and need that transmog fix. This one right here, the Deployable Attire Rearranger. So you grab this one and you can throw it down and you'll be able to transmog wherever you want. So if you don't have that toy that was in the trading post, this is another one that engineers can make. So you can use it whenever you want. Say you're in a raid and you get a new piece and you want to match while you raid, because you know the way you look in raid is how you do the best DPS. Anyways, that's that one. So we'll jump on to the next one. So the next one on the list I wanted to mention is the Swapblaster. So if you don't know what the Swapblaster is, you target a party member. It could be in a raid or a group or just two of you, and you click it and you swap places. So if you've ever been in a raid and somebody just chunks you and you're wondering how you almost fell off or something like that, either be a priest or something like that, it's usually the Swapblaster. So you can buy these off the auction house. On my server it was 2,500, but they're pretty neat to have. I don't know if they're helpful, but it was something else I just wanted to mention. So on to the next one. This is another one that I don't know, it's really a helpful item, but I can say every time I put it down, people definitely use it, and I even use it too. It's called the Atomic Recalibrator. So if we go to Dragonflight Engineering, you can see it right here. It's made in Dragonflight. So basically what it is, you can buy this on the auction house and just learn it. You don't have to be an engineer to use it to learn it. So when we throw it down, it's this one that you see all over the place, that when you run over it, it changes your appearance. Now, is this helpful? Who knows? You might do more DPS as an orc. So, just wanted to put that one down because, I don't know, thought it was pretty cool to put in. All right, we got one more, and we are done with the list for now. All right, so let's go into it. All right, so for the last item on the non-engineering items the engineers can make is two of them, and it is the portable alchemist lab bench and the portable tinker's workbench. So if we go, I swear I'm gonna keep that button every time. So if we go to portable, they're right here. They are in the Dragon Isles, and they can make these, but you can buy them off the auction house and all, obviously. But the thing that's neat about these, especially like the alchemist, say you're in raid and people run out of pots or flasks, you know, whatever they need. So you can drop these. There's the alchemist table, and here is for the engineers. So they won't have to port back to Valdrakken to use anything. You'll have everything right here. You can't click on them, but say we'll go here and let's see, where's one? Say like Tinker. You need a Tinker's workbench. I can craft this. Right here, Tinker's workbench. I have to have it, boom, I can craft it. So it's pretty nice to have these. especially if you're an alchemist. At least you'll have those ready for raid if something slips up. Anyways, that finished up the list, so let me jump into the outro. Alrighty, woo, that was a list. If you stuck around for the whole thing, I greatly appreciate it. Coming up with a list of 20 items. I will say I have thought about making a part 2 because engineers really do have a lot of items. There's more items for just engineers though, but there are plenty of other, helpful stuff for non-engineers. Anyways, I do plan on keeping on doing this for all professions and keep adding on to that helpful list. So that playlist, I'm gonna keep trying to add on to it because there's plenty of things in WoW that everybody can use and take advantage of. And I feel like a lot of past expansion stuff gets lost when a new expansion comes around, when there's just a ton of stuff in here that can be really helpful for all kinds of different situations. Anyways, and I also wanted to say, I probably should say it at the beginning of the video, but to everybody still watching all, thank you everybody for the subscribes. I mean, it's nuts how fast that thing just jumped up. I know it's not mind-boggling or anything, but it's super cool to see that going on. But anyways, I hope everyone's having a good time in WoW, if not playing Diablo or whatever game you're playing, and prepared for 10.2 coming. Anyways, until the next time, see ya.